What if I told you that one of the greatest players in NBA history stood at just 6 feet tall and weighed less than your average NFL linebacker? I mean, we're talking about a guy who could barely even fit into his uniform without looking like a twig. But man, did he break the mold. This, my friends, is the story of Allen Iverson, the guy who, despite his size, became one of the most iconic figures in NBA history. He was the first guy to truly change the game, not just with his skills, but with his swagger, his fashion, and, let's be honest, his attitude. But here's the thing. He wasn't always destined to be a legend. Nope. Iverson had to claw, fight, and absolutely refuse to be overlooked to get there. Let me take you back, way before Allen Iverson was on your TV screen crossing over like it was nothing. Let's talk about how the answer came to life. Imagine this. It's the early 90s, and the Philadelphia 76ers. Well, let's just say they weren't exactly lighting up the NBA. In fact, they were downright miserable. Ever since Charles Barkley left for Phoenix in 1992, the Sixers were one of the worst teams in the league. A sad excuse for a franchise. Not the team anyone wanted to play for, but one that you probably wouldn't mind playing against if you were trying to rack up some easy points. Then, 1996 rolls around, and Philly gets some luck. They win the #1 pick in the NBA draft. And guess who they picked? They went with Allen Iverson.
With the first pick in the 1996 NBA draft, the Philadelphia 76ers select Allen Iverson from Georgetown University.
Now this wasn't a no-brainer pick. You had guys like Kobe Bryant, Ray Allen, and Steve Nash in the mix. But Iverson, he was 6 feet tall, 170 pounds, maybe, probably less. And let's not even talk about the rumors swirling about his attitude, but let's focus on what people didn't see coming, the game. From the second Iverson hit the court, it was clear, this dude was something special. We're talking about a rookie who scored 30 points in his debut, broke Wilt Chamberlain's rookie record with 5 straight 40-plus point games, and even dropped 50 against the Cleveland Cavaliers. 50. And this is a guy who was barely 6 feet tall, weighed less than an average point guard, and didn't have a true NBA body. But you know what? He didn't need one. He was faster than anyone on the floor, had a crossover so deadly that defenders were terrified just looking at him, and his heart, massive. Now his shooting was, let's say, a work in progress. But who needs to be efficient when you can make defenders look like they're chasing ghosts? Plus, Iverson was fearless. He went up against legends like Michael Jordan and, in his rookie season, outshined MJ in one of their most memorable matchups. And if you think playing against MJ in his prime wasn't a big deal, you're missing the point. For Iverson, it was like a mini rap battle. He wasn't just trying to beat the man. He was trying to become the man. And guess what? He did it. But of course, success wasn't all dunks and high fives. No, no, no. Enter Larry Brown, the coaching legend. The dude was old school, always on time, wanted discipline, and, wait for it, loved practice. Yeah, you heard me right, practice. Now, let's be real. Iverson, he wasn't feeling it. He was the kind of guy who'd show up late, eat junk food in the locker room, and treat practice like an afterthought. And what did Larry Brown think of that? Well, he didn't just not like it, he publicly roasted Iverson for skipping practice. The horror. The next thing you know, we got a full-on coach versus player drama. Classic Hollywood style. Will they clash? Will they figure it out? Is there any chance they can win together? Well, turns out there was. But it took Iverson having a reality check. After almost being traded, Allen took a deep breath, swallowed his pride, and said, "All right, Larry, I'm gonna be on time. No more messing around." And it worked. Iverson finally turned the corner. And guess what? He started dishing the ball, getting others involved, and the 76ers were finally looking like a real threat. Now we're entering the promised land, the NBA Finals, but there's a catch. The Sixers are up against the mighty Lakers, Shaq, Kobe, and a team that hadn't lost a single playoff game. That's right, the Lakers were undefeated. But you know what? Iverson didn't care. In Game 1, he dropped 48 points, dished out 6 assists, and led the Sixers to a huge upset. And don't forget the iconic step over on Tyronn Lue after hitting a clutch shot in overtime. That moment right there, it's a piece of basketball immortality. Talk about telling the world you're a bad man, huh? So sure, Allen Iverson's story is about scoring, about that lethal crossover, and about being a fierce competitor. But it's also about breaking barriers. From tattoos to braids to the way he talked, Iverson redefined what it meant to be an athlete in the modern era. He wasn't just a basketball player, he was a cultural icon. And even though he only won 1 MVP, his place in basketball history is forever etched. If you enjoyed this walk through Allen Iverson's incredible career, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and share with anyone who needs to hear about one of the most unstoppable players to ever touch a basketball. And let me know in the comments, what was your favorite Iverson moment? I want to hear from you. Until next time, keep crossing over. And remember, it's not just about practice, it's about legacy.